Hi, my name is Chef Fernando Mojica. I'm here with Columbus State Community College Hospitality Programs. Thank you for joining us today. We are here at Mitchell Hall. We are in our production kitchen, so this is where a lot of the action happens for some class prep work and then some restaurant work. So today we're going to show you a cool video. We're going to do a savory bread pudding. So we're going to do some mushroom and bread pudding. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, we need about a pound of mushrooms. We fine dice these, cut them real small. We have a couple of tablespoons of chives here. You can certainly use other herbs. Tarragon will work well with these. Thyme will work well. Parsley will work well. We also have about an ounce or so of garlic, a couple of ounces of shallots. We have a couple of ounces of heavy cream and about four ounces of milk. And then we have 6 eggs. We're going to whip these with the ingredients here in a little bit. A couple of pointers about the video. You're going to need what's called a water bath to cook this bread pudding. So we have a hotel pan here that we're going to fill with hot water in a little bit. And we will also have another smaller pan where the bread pudding is actually going to bake in. And then we just spray this with a little bit of non-stick pan spray. And then you are going to want to preheat your oven to 400 degrees to have it ready to go when you start baking this. So we'll get going. We're gonna start by chopping these mushrooms. Just very simple, very means. You want them to be not more than about 1/8 of an inch by 1/8 of an inch. If you do not want to dice all these by hand, 1 pound, we're only doing a couple here. We have the rest of them already ready to go. You can certainly use a food processor to do this procedure, but you just want to have them ready to go. As we're doing this, right behind me we have a saute pan that's warming up with just a little bit of oil to where we're going to saute these and start our bread pudding. Our pan is hot, oil is hot. We're going to start by adding the mushrooms. We're going to add the mushrooms here, and we're going to lower the flame. And what we're going to do is we're going to cook these mushrooms. So it's going to take about 10 minutes or so. This is the beginning of what we call the cell. So, which we're then going to incorporate with the bread pudding, right? So this is going to cook the mushrooms, release some of the liquid that the mushrooms naturally possess. And it's going to ensure that by the time the bread pudding cooks, you actually do have the mushrooms cooked all the way, and the nice little flavor is going to release a lot of the oils. So this is going to cook for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to add the shallots and the garlic to it. All right, so this is going, this has been about 5 minutes, right? So at this point, we're going to add our garlic and our shallots to the pan here. And the reason we didn't add this at the beginning is because you don't want to burn these, right? The garlic is going to cook a lot faster than the mushrooms and the shallots will, so you don't want to burn these. We're going to continue to cook this at a lower heat for the other 5 minutes until the mushrooms are completely cooked. One thing you can do here certainly is you can add a little bit of wine. One thing you can do if you do add the wine is that you will add a little bit of flavor. That will help some of that flavor building procedures. It will help you build some flavor. But again, we don't have it on the recipe, but certainly something you can use. Well, this is going. We're going to go back to our station here in a minute, and as this is cooking, we're going to start getting our breads ready for, or bread pudding ready for cooking. Mushrooms are cooking, right? We're going to start with our eggs here. We're going to make our base. We're just going to whip these eggs until they're frothy. They're starting to get frothy. You don't want it to be completely blended. We're going to add the cream and the milk to these. And this is going to be the beginning of our bread pudding, right? This is going to be the binder. So what we're then going to do is, once these are nice and blended, we're going to take the eggs and we're going to put them over the bread, and we're going to let this combine. Make sure that all the bread is soaking in the eggs, right? And as you can see, we don't have a lot of liquid on it, so we want the bread pudding to be a little more solid, if you will, not dry, but solid, so it's, it will cook better, it will eat better when you're doing these, and so on. So at this point, we're gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper, couple of pinches of each, just to season it up. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this rest for about 10-15 minutes. We just want that bread to really absorb the liquid. So we'll let this rest. At this point, our mushroom is almost ready, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna get it out of the flame and cool it down. We cook the mushrooms, we pull them out of the heat. They've been cooling down for about 10 minutes or so. At this point, what we're going to do is we're going to add the herbs. And the reason you let the mushrooms cook, cool down before, after you cook them, before adding the herbs, is because you don't want the herbs to cook ahead of time, right? As the mushrooms are cooling down, because the herbs are going to cook in the oven. So we're going to add this to the bread. Mix it up real nice, right? We're gonna mix it up all together now. And at this point, we have our water bath ready. One thing you can do is, if you do not feel comfortable carrying your water bath to the oven, if you don't want to, you don't feel comfortable enough, concerned about splattering hot water on you or so on, you can put this in the oven ahead of time and have that water ready, and then you bring the smaller container to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix it all together, make sure all the mushroom, all the bread is evenly mixed. We're going to bring our pan here, and then we're just going to put this right into the pan that we're going to cook it in. And then we're going to do an even layer here to make sure that it's even thickness. And what we're going to do is we're going to cook these in a 400-degree oven. We're going to cover this with foil so it doesn't burn. And we're going to put this in the pan and into the oven. It'll cook for about an hour or so. One way to know when it's ready, after if you want to check it after about an hour, is if you insert a toothpick or a cake tester and it comes out dry, then you know the eggs are cooked, the milks are cooked, and so it's ready to go. So one of the things that you will see here is that this is almost ready, right? We talk about the, as you can see here, this is coming out just a little bit moist still. Some of the egg still needs to be cooked. So we're going to remove the foil. This cooked for about an hour already. So we're gonna put this back in the oven, in the water bath, and we're gonna cook this uncovered so it will finish cooking. And as it does that, it will also pick up some, it will brown a little bit on the top of it, right? Looks like this is gonna take another 15 minutes or so. After that, what we're gonna do is we're going to take this out of the oven, and you're done. We finished this, it's finished cooking, we took it out of the mold. We're just gonna cut this into portions. Now, one of the things that I wanna show you here, we wanted to show you with these videos is, this is ready to serve, right? You can serve this family style while it's hot. But we wanted to show you a simple recipe, but we wanted you to start thinking about, one of the goals that we had is to think about how do you utilize some of these videos and some of these techniques to take them to the next level, right? Well, you notice that unlike the other videos that we've done, we did not do a full entree for this one. Well, this will be a great side dish to do as a component to accompany the roasted chicken that we did in one of the other videos, or the stuffed chicken breast that we did recently. This side dish, or this bread pudding, will definitely complement those dishes well. But hopefully something that you're taking out of this, which was our aim today, was to show you a simple technique and get you to start thinking about how can you utilize that, and where can you utilize those techniques and those flavors and so on. So simple dish, we hope you enjoy it, and again, we'll see you next time.
Hi, my name is Rayleigh Harper with the School of Hospitality Management and Culinary Arts at Columbus State Community College. We hope you're enjoying our new YouTube channel and would love for you to subscribe to see more videos and chef demonstrations. Also, please visit us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Lastly, you can visit cscc.edu, the Hospitality Department page, if you would like to learn more information about our programs and our school.